decide to cut it out or not.
All right. Well, in that case, we're going.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We didn't do a sound check though, did we?
No, but we could.
Sound check.
We're doing sound check live on
Sound
Mixer.
check
We're
live.
doing it live.
Great.
Doing it
Yeah,
live.
no,
I
This is
think
where
I'm-
you can,
everybody.
you can count this out, cut this out of the show later.
I think
Yeah.
I think I've got the levels right because I fucked with it a little more last week on Pressing for Flight, and then I listened to it, and it sounded a lot more balanced. I was a little too loud, so I bumped mine down just a touch, but
Cool.
But yeah,
We're on-
Was that a sound check?
I guess. Well, it's
I'd have
a
to
live
stop.
sound
I'd have
check.
to stop recording and stop streaming.
Yeah.
So we all just said sound check for no reason.
No, he said we were already live. Yeah.
I didn't say it.
This guy.
All right. Well, yeah, I guess we started. Verbal assault.
Welcome.
What's up, you guys?
We got a.
I feel like we can only go up from here.
We have.
I've got my
It's rock
Christmas
bottom, baby.
sweater Miller Lite. Look at that.
There you go.
Ooh.
There I go.
Man, I might buy one of those.
Yeah, let me-
Looks nice.
So my friend Scott from work, and also from, let's say, father of my nephew, father of my nephew Scott, he started listening to our show like
Oh,
a
yeah?
week,
Don't tell
week
me
and a
you
half
picked
ago.
last week.
A week and a half ago or so, and I said, do not go back to the beginning. At least, like listen to him. Like at least go back to episode 10 or so.
Yeah, not the
He
very
ignored that.
Yeah.
He ignored that. He went back
Oh,
to the
man.
beginning. He's on episode 16 now. That's a lot of
Wow.
hours.
Wow.
Those shows
Man.
were like 3 hours long.
Oh,
right?
Did we really?
Yeah, they were like 3
They
hours.
were like
he's
2.5, 3 hours long.
he's stuck with us for life now. If he made it through 16, he's
I
a
was like,
fan.
you are crazy. He's like,
Yeah.
no, man, I've been loving it. He said he was laughing so hard he had to pull over to the side of the road.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I can't think of a better endorsement.
that's
than
right.
that.
Yeah,
I mean,
really.
if you're starting from that early on, I mean,
you're
it gets
still
in
in
your
it.
system. It's podcast crack. You know,
Yeah.
he's addicted.
Well,
Shit, that makes me want to go back and listen to
me
the first
too.
episode.
Hey
So were
Scott.
they any good at all? We don't know.
Yeah,
We'll
they
have to
were.
Man,
Hey
Was-
Scott, one year from now, when you hear this,
check.
thank you for starting to
That's
listen
right.
to our show.
Because it's going to take you forever to get to this point.
Scott, when you hear this, call in.
what episode was the Ukrainian vodka episode?
That was pretty early.
Yeah.
Would you think any of us would be able to pull that information out?
Oh,
That was like
uh,
single digits.
Yeah.
Oh, that was episode 6. I remember it like it was yesterday.
which one was the one where the power was out and we decided to
Oh,
play?
That
it?
was
man.
deer slapping and
Yeah, deer
catapult.
slapping. Yeah.
He actually mentioned that to me.
Really?
He mentioned that. Yeah, I said, well, yeah, that was a long time favorite. That was a favorite for a very
Yeah.
long time. That episode. So I would call that a classic, and I kind of feel at some point we have to get Dave to retell that his portion of that in any way, maybe. Or we could
God,
get-
that would be a reason to use
We
our
need-
new feature and call up Todd and get him to.
He needs
That's
Todd
true.
needs to
Yeah,
redo the party where the camel showed up because that's the lost episode.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That is a good
Oh, that's
story.
right. We got a lost episode.
Yeah.
Becca, how's it going?
Oh, it's just great.
It's great. I heard you had a day.
Oh yeah,
You
but
said
it's
the
I
other
mean
day.
it's nothing worth talking about. It's just a long day. I didn't get enough sleep. A lot of things happened.
Okay.
Had a
That's it.
pre-pod nap.
I didn't. I couldn't sleep. I don't take naps. I just
Are you
can't do it.
enjoying your first Florida winter?
It's oh my gosh, today it was so nice out. It felt like fall. It was
It's so
windy
nice.
and chilly. It was
We
really
had,
nice.
like 4 inches of snow yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, I woke up
20
to several
degrees.
pictures. Yeah.
I thought
wanted-
I thought about sending you one and be like enjoying the winter, but I'm like, she's already seen it. She
Yeah.
knows.
I was going to send back to everyone a picture of a palm tree in the sun.
Put your finger up. Just-
but I decided not
I did. I posted those
Yeah, I
sunset pictures.
I
Tom,
sent you
Tom was giving me shit on there. He commented, he's like, "You do realize that most of the country is covered in snow right now." Or
There are
something
people
like that.
dying right now.
We don't give a fuck.
I thought the Snapchat of the pretty white snow with mariachi playing in the background would have gotten something.
I
Oh,
responded to that.
Oh yeah, I know, but I mean,
She
it
told me
was-
about it.
It was irony of it all. Mariachi band playing in the snow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was the key part of it.
Stepping out last night into my field back here with all the snow, and there's a full moon. It was very clear.
Hmm. So it was
And,
bright, right?
Yeah, super bright. It's you get out there. I always like pissing when it's like 18 degrees. You getting your dick out in that frosty cold.
Yeah.
Seeing the steam.
Yeah, but it was so bright. It was like Skyrim night. Like night in Skyrim where you can see really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with
Yeah.
the full moon and all that snow, it was really cool. And I was like, man, I want to hang out at here, but it's so fucking cold.
Right?
I love how quiet it is in those times.
Yeah.
With so much snow on the ground.
It was perfect too because nothing on the roads.
Yeah.
You got to see it. You
Yeah.
got to enjoy what it was, except for the cold, but no problem on the roads. It was perfect situation.
Did I ever tell the story on the podcast about how one time when it was snowing up there, I was listening. I had the app, where you can listen into the police scanner, and they're calling codes or whatever, and then I hear someone was responding to an accident, like it was like over a blind hill kind of thing. And then they radioed in, and they got a code whatever. A car just ran into him, and so another cop was coming out, and then that cop ran into them. So it was like 2 or 3 cop cars involved. And then shortly thereafter, they called over, like the dispatcher called over. They're like, all services are stopping right now. Nobody is answering any calls right now. The roads are all frozen. We can't move.
Everybody just hit the same patch bike.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did they start playing the Benny Hill music at any point?
Right.
That's not Benny Hill.
No.
Close enough.
that's
That's not it either.
Yes,
Yeah, that
It
is.
is. That's Yakety
Is that it?
Sax.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Brad, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. Still have that there purple mattress, still sleeping like a beauty.
It's
Well,
been 1 week since you got the mattress.
Here's the more important question. Have you nutted on your mattress yet?
Negative.
It's November. Of course
Still
he
November.
I'm just trying to figure out if he's staying Spartan, if he's
Hey.
staying with it.
You can't
Oh,
control
yeah.
nocturnal emissions.
Still 100%. I'm waiting for those to happen. I've
Well-
only had that happen like twice in my life, and I'm like, when is it going to be my
What is the
turn?
rules of No Nut November? Is it you have to masturbate, or does nocturnal emissions count against No Nut November?
You can still fuck a girl and nut in her. That's fine.
Okay, so
Really?
as long as
That's the
it
rule.
goes in her, it's
As long as
okay.
you don't spill your seed like the
I
Bible
Okay.
says.
mean,
Yeah.
as long as you're not just like jerking it and watching porn and stuff. That's pretty much it. It's just a voluntary abstinence. But if you have a chance to fuck a girl, go ahead because it's good.
That's always
Okay.
It's weird that the rules seem to have changed here recently.
That seems
I don't understand.
that
I've
seems
never
like
heard
a
those
a
rules.
Brad amendment there.
Yeah.
Did you make that amendment yourself?
No.
No.
I feel like
Reddit.
part of No Nut November should be the woman just begging for your seed and you saying, nope, not tonight. Not tonight.
Not this month.
But you wait till Destroy Dick December.
Love
That's what's
that.
coming next. It's coming around the band.
And then all of a sudden, Brad orders a bunch of M80s off Amazon.
Pain
Strap 'em to my
Olympics.
dick.
Like, it's not what you thought it was.
Dude, the jock strap jihad just
Jock strap
strapping
jihad.
it down, walking
Oh,
into
man.
a crowd.
Oh, my dick.
We're all going
Oh,
out in
my
a
God.
giant flood, baby.
Spread the seed everywhere. Everywhere. It's gonna be in your bloodstream.
Oh man.
Dave.
Yo,
Dave.
my
End of sentence. We are done.
Dave, you've gone dapper Dave today. You've got your what do you call it? Your tam? Is that what they call that hat? Is it a tam?
I don't know.
That's what my
It's
dad.
not
That's
a
what my
derby.
dad called it.
Get your head lower, Dave, into the camera so I can
It's not
see
a
it.
derby. A derby has the rim all
I
the
just
way
No,
said
around.
it.
lower.
I said it wasn't a derby.
Oh.
To the other way, to the left.
To the
It's a
left.
tam.
Down. Okay.
I've got images.
Okay.
I googled
Good, 'cause
tam.
we'll never
oh
see
wait, but
Dave's.
I've got a
That's like a
Oh,
boy's
man.
cap from the 20s.
It's
flap
a
cap.
segment.
Flap cap. Actually,
It's about to be the 20s.
It is.
Yeah.
My dad
good.
has several of those hats.
This is the only one I have.
I wear it like once a year. You know, when I'm feeling really, really sportly. When I'm
Do you-
feeling really
Sportly.
Pretty sure you're wearing one in the skinny jeans
Wait,
video.
look at
Yeah.
this.
Oh
This
yeah,
is-
he is.
Do
maybe
you
it's
wear it
not a tam
backwards?
hat because this is a unisex tam hat.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah, that's
man.
they're the flatter. It's a
Yeah.
Scottish Tamo something.
What about this guy?
That's a joke.
Save
version.
some pussy for the rest of us.
Dick destroy in December. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Dave is doing well.
I'm
Patrick,
all right. I'm all
all
right.
Patrick.
Good. Doing
Good.
good. Just realized we got 10 more episodes to episode 200.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do something special.
We got to. For episode 200.
Episode
Do we have to do
200.
200 things?
I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to go that route, let's
Sure.
do 200 mini shots.
Let's do a 200-hour show.
Yeah.
Shit.
Fuck work.
We could do a 200 minute. We could do a 200
200
minute
Yeah.
minute
show.
show, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be
Marathon.
safer.
We could play 200 questions where I just get one that's really, really hard to figure out, and you guys have 200 questions to work
What if we
with.
did a 12-hour stream? I won't say 24 hours. That's
Oh.
too much. But what if we did a 12-hour stream?
That's a lot to
Yes.
commit to.
Yeah.
12 hours? People do it all the time.
Yeah.
People do
Okay,
24
cool,
hour
but
streams
it's all
the time.
relative. I don't. I don't do that all the
You
time.
just gotta have that day off.
Does everybody get the day off? And
Yeah.
We could do all kinds of shit. Gaming.
Yeah.
Watch sumo.
Scott
Take
would love it.
shit. Yeah, Scott would love
He'll
it.
he'll love it next year.
Yeah.
Hey, when this episode comes out for the listeners, I will no longer be in my 20s.
Oh shit.
Oh, dirty 30. Huh?
My birthday is on Friday.
Wow.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday and good for you, Becca, not being one of those women that just pretends they're not turning 30.
I've been
Yeah.
telling people I was 30 for the last year and a half.
You just been rounding it
I'm
up.
basically 30.
That whole like somehow age comes up and those women that are just like get actually angry about it and like, I'm not telling you my age and get all defensive about it. I was like,
How
what,
dare you ask my
you-
age?
who are you trying to fool right now? Why would you even? You got to accept it, man. You got to embrace it. If you're fighting that age all the time and you're getting all freaked out about it, you're gonna hit 50 and you're gonna start getting all kinds of fucked up plastic surgery and you're gonna look like a fucking alien and shit.
And then you're gonna hang yourself and die.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's no sense in it.
Face all stretched out, like eyes like all buggy, and like your
Mm.
lips are like
You'll be able to say cool stuff like, "You can't fool me like that. I wasn't born yesterday. For God's sakes, I'm almost a third of a century old."
Yeah.
She'll
Yeah, you could
definitely
say that.
those things.
say it.
Just say it.
Becca, you
You
have
want me
any-
to say?
say-
Say it.
Not right now.
Just say it.
I'll
Do
say
you
it.
have any? You got any big birthday plans? You got a party planned?
I'm
Somebody
gonna
planning a
work.
barbecue? You're gonna work. That's probably the smartest.
Hard all
Mm.
day.
Oh my.
And then Wassel.
Yeah.
Are you gonna tell everybody that you meet that you're 30 that day?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hi, I'm 30.
Already a grandma.
Thank you for
I'm
calling
old
Random
enough to be
Pizza
your
Place.
aunt.
I'm 30.
Your favorite random pizza place, Sonny.
Your total is 30. No, wait, that's my total.
Yeah, Dragon Shade in chat said age is just a number.
Yeah, exactly.
It does not define what you can do.
You know,
Or
I used
can't
to
do.
like that statement, you know, because it's all about, you know, don't let getting old get you down. But then I started to see pedophiles using it,
What?
and now I'm not so much into the age is only a number.
That's
Hey.
terrible.
Well,
Well,
most
you
people
seem
assume when you
too
say age is only a number, you mean legally. Like you
Yeah.
don't mean children. Most people.
Most people.
Yeah, my mind doesn't go there.
Yeah, me
It's
neither.
coming, people. It's coming. The pedophiles are taking over. Just look at Hollywood.
Mhm.
Oh man.
Everybody gets quiet. Steve-O, pull up
Roman
that video.
Polanski.
Pull up the
Wait, you didn't
video.
ask me how
sent
I
you.
was doing.
I didn't. Oh, did I not?
I
I
am
know,
now
Steve-O. I just assume you're living the dream.
I am now an investor in Virgin Galactic. I own
Oh.
2 shares.
Nice.
Oh.
Where are they valued at?
$9.73 when I bought them.
Shit.
$9
$9
or
and
900.
73 cents. I'm in
Really?
on the ground floor, baby.
Okay.
Wait till
Alright.
they start flying people. That
I'm gonna
it's gonna
get
shoot
on
out
I
that
need to-
tomorrow.
like a
Yeah, I need
rat.
to get into this game. I've been
Yeah,
saying
man.
this for years. Since
Robin
Game-
Hood app, get the Robin Hood
You're
app.
on Robin.
Oh, it's on
Yeah.
Robinhood.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
not on
Dave, we
Stash.
seriously talked about this in depth, like episode 3.
Yeah.
Dave,
Yeah.
That's true.
yeah, I and every time I say I gotta get into that.
I was about to cancel my account with Stash, but like Tesla is up and it
Yeah.
keeps going up, and that's
I'm
where I've got my
so
Tesla stock, and so
surprised.
I'm like, I don't know. I'm maybe I'll get out of it when I have the money to, because with Robinhood you have to buy full shares, whereas with Stash you can buy increments of shares, any increment you want. So I may go ahead and cancel that account, and then as soon as I get the money, turn right around and buy Tesla. But then there's that game where, I want to wait till it goes back down a little
Yeah.
bit and then buy
But what's
it
the
then.
deal with the one app thing? I
Which
mean, why
one?
are you?
Robinhood or Stash?
Yeah, you're saying you want to get rid of sell it and stash and then rebuy.
Rebuy it with Robinhood.
Why? Just to unify
to put it all in one. And there was a thing with Stash where one time I was trying to sell a bunch of stuff because I just needed a little
Yeah.
bit of money, and I had about $100 worth of stuff that I could sell, so I did. And then when I went to withdraw it to my bank account, it was like, oh, sorry, we're having issues with the app. And then so I called customer support, and they're like, yeah, we've been noticing that people are having trouble with that, and there's an update coming out soon. And I'm like,
We'll say-
fuck that.
I had
fucking money.
that
Yeah.
issue that you were talking about, and I did it on Android just fine.
hmm
So it's something with iOS.
Maybe. I'm sure it was
But,
with the iOS app specifically. She did say, well, you
Yeah.
can go on the website and still do it, which I was able to do, and that's great, but that's just a real convenient problem to have. Plus, I'd like shortly after getting into Stash, I read a review of some dude that needed to get his money out of there, and it just was not computing, and it took he had to go back and forth with customer service, and it ended up taking weeks for him to get his money, and it kind of scared me. And then whenever that happened to me, I was like,
Mhm.
I want out.
Yeah.
I
It
want-
took me when I sold Apple. Took 3 days for it to process.
Yeah.
Was all. But
When
yeah.
it's normal, when it's all working, the sale takes place like later that day or the next day, and then once you got the money, you transfer it out, and it takes a few days, and it's not that big a deal.
Mhm.
But yeah, it would just make sense to kind of put it all in one place.
That's like
You know,
we were talking about that. Remember that story with that pro gamer guy that said that pro Hong Kong stuff after he won the tournament, and you remember that story?
Mhm, yeah.
Yeah.
And Blizzard, they kicked him out of the tournaments and they took like 10 grand from him and all that shit. Well, they had, after that big firestorm, they pissed off so many people. There were people closing accounts left and right. And then there were people that were they would try to close an account and it wouldn't let them. It just wouldn't let them get rid of their monthly thing. They would just be like, oh, we're sorry. We can't,
We can't
there's
perform
some
this
bug
function.
issue.
Yeah.
We can't let you.
It's really
stop
weird.
paying us. Yeah, it's just some technical difficulty. We're sorry.
I'd just call up my bank and tell them stop payment to this.
Yeah,
I had to do
but
that
sometimes
for
that costs money, doesn't it?
Well, fuck Blizzard.
Well, no, you just cancel your card. I mean,
Yeah, you
Yeah,
could do
cancel the
that.
whole
And just
card,
hope you
yeah.
don't.
I
have,
did that for
auto
Xbox
pay.
Live. I wasn't. I could not cancel.
It only
my
costs
thing.
money if you're trying to reverse a payment,
Oh,
but not if you're canceling like a automatic payment from a bank.
oh.
Yeah, if it's just an auto draft, then you're fine.
I mean, I don't put money into it. I let those dividends collect. I know we've talked about that before, and I don't ever think about getting the money out. I think maybe I wouldn't even be able to. I don't know. We'll see. But I don't have the slow, laggy stuff that you guys are talking about. Of course, I just use Ameritrade, and I just do it through the app. And once I have enough, I mean, I've bought several things since. I think we've talked about. I bought Uber.
Mhm.
I bought me some Campbell's soup.
Oh,
Everybody
yeah.
wants some Campbell's soup.
I mean,
Gotta
yeah.
like that.
Who doesn't
Buy
like
it,
that?
buy it right before a hurricane.
Yeah.
Well, I've had it for a while. So, and all these stocks, I've just, every time those other ones will pay a dividend, it just sits there in the money market until it gets up to enough amount, or I read an article about something and say, hey, that's interesting. Or I found out a way to apply it to my life some way and buy something that I already, own stock in Twitter.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but you're
One
using
share.
you're using the big boy stuff,
Ooh.
Ameritrade.
I don't
that-
know why it's big boys.
You got that money, Dave.
I don't know. There's no truth to that whatsoever.
It's just one that I'd heard of years ago. Ameritrade and E-Trade. That's like, oh wow.
I like keeping the stuff
Real.
long enough for them to do stuff like when I got the extra shares of Apple, when Pizza Hut decided, hey, because you own this stock, I'm going to give you 3 shares of our international stock. That didn't cost me a dime.
Oh wow.
You know,
Wow.
when they have a stock split or something.
Uh-huh.
Google wanted to offer more shares. I got I had a Class A Google stock, and they wanted to offer more shares. So because of that Class A, they gave me 1 Class C stock, which are both valued about the same, about $10 difference between the two, which is so. And that didn't cost me anything. I just owned the stock.
Is that because of Ameritrade, or does that work?
No,
Yeah,
that's just
so-
what those
so
only
if you live with a stock long enough, then that kind of stuff just happens.
those things happen over
Okay,
time.
cool.
They split their shares, or they have a really good dividend, and if they pay out that dividend, that helps me buy another stock of whatever. It's little bits at a time,
Hmm.
and I look at it every now and then, but I don't touch it
Yeah.
except to just buy cool, little things. I don't remember. I think Uber was maybe I bought some. I don't think I bought. I was looking at DoorDash. Maybe I bought some DoorDash, but you should get into it, Nathan. You're young enough.
Yeah, get into it now, and then that way,
Yeah.
if the market tanks, you'll still be able to. You won't kill yourself.
What surprises
Yeah.
me is you got Tesla sitting at $300 something per share, but then you have Ford and GM, they're around 10.
Yeah,
You know?
I've-
and I understand, this is
Yeah.
if they split, then you'd have more shares and stuff. But why wouldn't a company like Tesla just split? Why wouldn't they split? Because then you might get people to be willing to buy more shares.
It's probably
There's-
because they have so much uncertainty with their quarterly sales, and that's why they're not trying to split.
and
Because
there's
See-
a little baby.
Once we get talking about that, that's
Yeah.
where my mind just goes. I don't know.
Yeah,
It
you
just
said
happens
split,
when
I'm
I
like,
own a stock.
I don't
so
know
I
what
go,
you're talking
yay.
about.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's
split
when-
just means if a stock's worth $10 and they decide to split it, then you now have 2 $5 stocks instead of
Yeah.
that one $10 stock.
Okay,
Yeah.
now I get that.
But if the price goes up, then it's going up twice as much because you have.
So
two
they're
stocks.
basically that's basically inflating. They're basically inflating their stock value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but 10 years down the road, and they're actually showing signs of growth, you'll be making major money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when I owned that 1 share of Apple, and they gave you 6 shares for owning 1 share of Apple, I ended up selling 3 of those shares to just buy some other cool stuff, and I still had more shares than I got into the game with.
Right. Yeah.
That sounds good. That sounds good. All right.
Yeah. You want that video?
Pull up that video. Yeah, let's watch this little newscast
All right.
news thing real quick. I thought this was pretty funny. I was just gonna read it, and then the guy in question actually speaks, and I thought that the whole thing was pretty funny. So,
All right, let's see.
yeah.
And to fend off a convicted criminal who kicked the door into his apartment late last night.
But it wasn't a gun, knife, or even a bat that kept the intruder at bay. Instead, it was a replica battle axe.
Barton Dieters is in studio control with this story, all new tonight.
Oh no.
What?
Oh, you
What happened?
The weather?
like
Let's hear about
Jump
the
just
us
weather.
to
decided
weather?
to go to another. Now it's going to play an ad. You watch. Oh, listeners, I'm so sorry. Yes, it is playing a 15-second ad. Jeez.
So yeah, basically this is a story. Victim uses battle axe to fend off home invader. This is in Michigan.
Sounds
A
about right.
battle
mean,
axe.
that's the only place I can think of to
If
use
it
an
wasn't
axe.
Florida, it'd
Used
be
a
Michigan.
weapon to fend off a convicted criminal who kicked the door into his apartment late
A lot
last
was
night.
But it wasn't a
Scandinavian
gun,
descent up
knife,
there.
or even a bat that kept the intruder at bay. Instead, it was a replica battle axe.
Barton Dieters is in studio control with this story, all new tonight. Barton?
They all
Brian
try to act
Marley,
so
the
serious.
33-year-old suspect, is in jail now, facing a charge of first-degree home invasion, which could put him in prison for a maximum of 20 years. Whatever his reason was for kicking in the door of the Oshtemo apartment, he probably was not expecting to run into a guy who does this on the weekends.
Well, number one,
LARP.
it's LARPing.
Hell yeah,
A lot of
LARPing.
People are like, oh, is it LARPing? And it's like,
No.
no. This Band-Aid was actually from filming last night for our newest episode.
When he's not working at Applebee's, 36-year-old competes in the events where people compete against each other in ritualized combat. He owns a lot of period weaponry, reminiscent
pause
of
it real
kind
quick.
used by Vikings and barbarian warriors.
Look at this guy.
So if you see the video, he said ritualized combat. So there's something called HEMA, which is historic European martial arts. And these guys actually, they do some badass shit. They'll do like long sword, and they'll do sword and shield. And they actually have gotten old martial arts manuals, from hundreds of years ago. And they have studied how, people actually fought during those times. What
Yeah.
that guy is doing is basically WWE, but
Yeah.
with dressed in armor.
They even had the mat laying there
Right,
for the
yeah.
exact spot where the dude was going to fall down.
Steve-O, show him the GIF I sent you, because that is exactly related to this.
I don't know which one.
The one of the guys sword fighting, and then it shows the old scroll with the fighting technique.
Oh man, I don't know if I
Let's
pulled
just-
it up.
Let's go through this, and
Oh,
then we'll see it
Jesus
later.
Christ.
Let's continue on
that he
this real
keeps
quick.
around his apartment.
I've got a double-headed carbon steel battle axe that was homemade by a gentleman who has since passed. That's what I call my baby.
Ball says that the suspect dated a former roommate who left to get away, and he showed up at the apartment around 11:30 p.m. Wednesday. The suspect knocked on the door repeatedly as Ball was in his apartment playing video games and watching Rick and Morty. Then
Yeah.
the door.
It might have broken in on twice, but it may have been the third. But I was reaching already over here.
And this is what Ball pulled out, a sharpened battle axe.
Hell
Door
yeah.
open, grab the axe, step, hit.
Hell
Ball
yeah.
said he had reason to believe the suspect had a firearm. The axe
He
hit the
put on
intruder
his
at least
best
once
Star
in the
Wars
torso,
suit.
and then the two started grappling in the apartment, destroying the place.
There's a bloody mess everywhere.
Finally, the suspect gave up and made a run for it. A neighbor
Dude's
called
there
911,
stealing his
and
weed.
Police showed up.
Yeah.
Canines followed the trail of blood to apprehend the suspect. Bell identifies the suspect as Axel Lavelle Rawls, who's currently held in the Kalamazoo County Jail
What?
on a charge of first-degree home invasion. Court records show Rawls was discharged from
Yeah,
the
look
State
at the
Department of
triangle around
his
Corrections in
eye.
July.
Now, Kalamazoo County says
Illuminati.
the suspect spent the night in the hospital with substantial
that what that
wounds
is?
before being transferred
Yeah.
to the jail. Under Sheriff Jim Van Dyken says avoiding confrontation with a robber is usually the best course, but people have a right to defend themselves, especially in their own home. In studio control, Barton Dieters, News 8.
Way to go, Barton Dieters. You really got to the
job.
bottom of that one.
Thank you, Dita.
That's awesome, man.
I love him just like, it's not LARPing.
I was watching Rick and
Look at-
Morty.
Look at this Band-Aid right here.
Yeah. You don't get this from LARPing, okay?
That's crazy shit.
Step,
I'm surprised
chop.
that's like he's that familiar with a battle axe. I mean, I'm sure he's never.
What, raise and then lower?
I mean,
quickly?
he's more
real
familiar.
hard.
He's more familiar with it than I am. But you would think that he'd get a little bit better hit on the guy, and the guy wouldn't be able to continue to attack him.
Steve, I sent that email.
Huh?
It's forwarded. It's recreating authentic fighting techniques from medieval times.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's pretty badass. Viewers on the stream will get to enjoy it.
Yeah, they didn't really say how injured the guy actually was, but there was quite a bit of blood on the floor there. I don't know.
Also, I found out there is a HEMA studio across the street from where my dad works in Ohio.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. You guys want to see what he shared me?
Fucking dope.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Swings at
Yeah,
them.
that's what I'm talking
It's
about.
all
Yeah.
Actually, really good.
Yeah, these are the legit guys.
he really stabbed his
Wow.
face.
Of course.
I'm pretty.
You
Yeah,
saw it in the
of course.
drawing, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah.
That is the tried and true technique.
Stab him in the face.
Yeah, that's to go through the gap in the armor, right? So they got the
Oh, yeah.
the visor
Right.
could go through the gap.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
funny that you
Gapping.
brought this up because I was looking this shit up. Like that's the shit I want to do, not really the LARP pretend WWE shit.
Yeah, they do some badass stuff. I mean, there was a guy I followed on YouTube. I can't remember his name, but he was, collects historic weapons. He's written books on it, and he does these competitions, and they get in there and they beat the fuck out of each other. Well,
I ain't got no time.
got no time for that.
Is
Got
his
no
name
time for that.
Han Darlin?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Harlan.
Huh?
That's not the name I saw.
Han Darlin.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Any relation to Han Banana?
Sure.
Nice.
It's actually Dan Carlin's brother, but
Jerry says
Oh,
stab her in
yeah.
the face or a blowjob, as it's commonly called. I didn't know it was commonly called that.
oh
Stabbing somebody. Yeah.
Didn't know it.
That's what Jerry does.
yeah.
When somebody tries to break into his house, he stabs him in the face with his penis.
AKA blowjob, yes. He makes them give him a blowjob. That's a risky move, man.
Yeah,
Just
just pants drop immediately, and he just walks toward him. Hey, hey,
I'm
Fully
gonna
erect.
blow job you.
this is not gonna abrupt no nut November. If this goes into your face, it's okay.
it's not my fault. I'm the victim here.
It's a thing.
Dave, what did you bring? What did we want to talk about, Dave? What's going
Mine's
on?
a kind of a goofy thing. I
Yeah.
No way.
yeah,
I doubt
yeah,
that.
yeah. And I'm not anybody special here. Anybody can do this that has an Android phone at the moment. I tweeted out right before the show. I was playing Skyrim
The
for my
Skyrim?
Xbox. Yeah, real life Skyrim. We had talked about in the previous episode, I don't know, episode 287.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Which we haven't,
Very
we
specific,
haven't
thank
reached
you.
yet.
Yeah,
We
very,
haven't-
very
we haven't reached
specific.
that episode yet.
But we had talked about eventually Xbox was going to start live streaming games to your mobile devices and other things, tablets, PCs, those kind of things. And I'd been waiting for it, and I have been on Xbox Insider, and finally it came out in October, and then I finally got it working just the other day, got into the program, and it's really cool. I don't know how much I would actually utilize this because you are playing you're on your phone, but the technology is just amazing. And I started it on my regular phone, which is an LG G7. I don't think it's a fantastic phone. Certainly does more than I need it to, but and it worked out pretty good. You need to have a Bluetooth controller, And of course, the app on your phone is the Xbox game streaming app. Now, I have streamed inside the house before using a different app, games and stuff, but the Xbox is actually on. This isn't that at all.
Oh.
It does use the instant on feature, but the Xbox never turns on.
Wow.
The game,
Okay.
it goes straight. You see the console, and as it is. And
If you were
play
in the room
games.
with it, do you hear the Xbox thinking?
No,
stuff?
I mean, I was even in one of my tests. I mean, that they do in a survey for it. You come in and the light's not even on. I mean, it's just sending the game through the inner spaces.
Is it actually coming from your Xbox? Do you know?
So then
Yeah,
is
it's
it
called
using
console streaming.
Okay.
It's
so
not
it
the
is-
xCloud feature,
It's
which
not
I
like-
have it. It's not the Xbox.
So it is using your Xbox. It just doesn't appear to be using your Xbox.
Right. Any
Okay.
game that is on your Xbox can be on your
Okay,
phone.
what if while you're doing that, I went to your house and turned on your Xbox and tried to play something else?
I haven't a
Or-
clue because I don't have that situation.
Or unplugged your
Be-
Xbox.
it would be a
Yeah,
fun
Oh,
test to
Laughed.
unplugged the Xbox.
do. Right? Then you're there. You're dead.
Then
in the
you're
water.
just an
But
asshole.
I actually got it to work on my Samsung Galaxy S6, and you just click the app, and you
Wow.
can't really see it.
It can handle that. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, and
Well,
then it
because
asks
it's not
you-
doing. It's just streaming it. It's not
Yeah,
even doing
then it asks you
anything.
to pair your controller, which you just turn it on because it's Bluetooth.
And the latency's okay.
Yeah, I mean that's something tells me to connect because it's paired.
Now, and you don't have to be on Wi-Fi for this. You don't have to be on the same
No.
network or anything.
No.
Seems
I
like that
mean,
would fuck up your
they
data.
recommend an upload speed of somewhere for. Look there.
Hey, I
See?
see us.
Yeah,
That's
because
amazing.
I'm on my Xbox. I'm watching, the show,
Wow.
Wow.
and you don't have to be on your own network. You can. The only time I think I would utilize this is getting my oil changed. There's free Wi-Fi there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you don't
and
want to be
trying that
moving
out.
around because I was thinking like, yeah, it'd be cool for a road trip, but you're going from tower to tower to tower, and if you lose signal, then you might just, I don't like what you're in the middle of a
You
boss
lose that
battle,
save, yeah.
and
Yeah.
and now all of a sudden your character's just standing. Do they remain standing there, or does it maybe they've thought about that. Maybe it forces the
Auto
game
pause.
to pause. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still testing it out for sure.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's here now,
Just start doing it while you're driving. Just try playing Skyrim while
yeah,
you're driving
do
down the
that.
road.
Let's play Skyrim
Yeah.
while you're
Yeah.
driving.
I mean,
and
I was
then go
playing
out to
Skyrim.
like Beulah Lane, somewhere you're gonna lose your signal.
What's the worst that could happen?
I mean, it gets the Galaxy hot on the back, and it does
Ooh.
drain the battery quicker on it.
Yeah.
But on this phone, it does not drain the battery real quick, and it does not heat up. And the
Weird.
interesting thing is, I think it actually runs better on this phone.
On the shittier phone.
Yeah, the older one.
Hmm.
And so I just started doing that this week, and they're going to roll that out. But anybody within earshot of the store, if you just jump into the Xbox Insider app, sign in, and if you have an Android tablet, which I would obviously recommend a tablet over a phone any day,
Yeah.
because these old man eyes can't see worth shit. But it's only on Android right now. It will be coming to iOS later. It's going to come to all
So,
devices.
As
They're
long
just
as you're
launching it.
an Xbox Insider, you can
Yeah.
get onto that. Okay.
And you're in there. I
Yeah.
saw it.
I am. Yeah.
Because it has all your friends listed that are in the program of
Cool.
Insider. So, and then get the app on your phone, which is the Xbox game streaming app, very specific, and it's pretty seamless. It walks you through pairing the controller with the phone via Bluetooth,
Mhm.
and my next test is to do it outside of the house. I mean, there are specific tests that they want you to answer the questions in the surveys for, and then they give you points, and it jumps up your ring for your test feature. I'm in the Omega group.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I'm in the Omega
Wow.
test
Oh
rank.
my
the,
god.
the
Wow,
lesser.
dang.
That's the
Damn.
lesser
I
one,
didn't
right?
know we were in the presence of
Of-
royalty.
Yeah.
Lesser.
low
a
risk
lesser
of error.
warranty.
But I recommend that one.
So
and it works great.
But that's a
Does your-
subscription, right? You have to pay
Huh?
for this?
No, it was free.
Oh, okay. I thought
I
the
mean,
Xbox
I'm-
Insider was a
No,
subscription.
No.
Insider's free. You're
Oh,
just
okay.
a beta tester for certain things.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
When they come out with new operating system updates, they'll push that out to you first. You actually get an extra icon on the exit screen that says report an issue as well.
So does your Xbox have to be on initially?
It's got to be set to instant on.
Okay.
Yeah, where it never
Which
actually
most
shuts
people
down.
do because they don't want to wait for that damn green dot screen to boot up every time.
Takes
So
forever.
most people do leave
Amen,
it.
brother.
But it works great. I mean it does have. There's been a few things where I saw the screen pixelate a lot, but actually that happened on the newer phone as opposed to the older phone.
May do that with my tablet for work now.
Yeah, it's really cool. You should be able to set it up in no time, and make sure you have a Bluetooth controller.
Oh, I do.
And incidentally, this awesome, fancy, fine, elite controller is not Bluetooth capable. What the hell is up with that, Xbox? What the hell is
Is that
up with
not how it connects? What does it use to connect to the Xbox?
Uses its own
Xbox
frequency.
uses their own proprietary
proprietary
bullshit.
But what
thing.
about
And then
PlayStation? You could use a PlayStation controller.
Yeah.
and now you
which
can
is better
get-
anyway.
You can get the cheaper Xbox Bluetooth enabled controller, and
like the standard controllers are Bluetooth, aren't they?
the newer
No.
ones are, but the older standard ones are not.
Okay.
The ones that came with your Xbox, if it's an older Xbox, most likely did not have it.
Yeah, you would have to buy an adapter
A
if you want to
dongle.
do like Bluetooth wireless for your PC with it. You got your dongles there?
Got your dongles.
Don't
But
get
that-
excited, Brad. It's still
That
November.
is what I brought to the table because it was so cool, and we had talked about it before, and it's the follow up. So
I think it's cool.
go
I'm
out,
not
jump
sure
out,
I'd
do
use it, but
You know, you never know if you're waiting on a photo shoot, doing a time lapse. If you have unlimited data, you got your Xbox right there.
Oh, I
it's
do.
true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you said, you know how I can tell that I have become an Apple user? When you said that that was only available for Android, I felt legitimate disgust.
It's coming. It'll be there.
It's
One of
rare,
us.
but yeah, sometimes things come out on Android
Let
first.
the peons sort out the bugs. There's no
Yeah.
reason for us to sully our hands.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, don't worry. It'll come because they're not about keeping it from. They want all the devices.
It'll come once it's ready.
It might be that, like, in the Android store, like, you can push through updates faster or something like that. 'cause
Yeah,
I think
I'm
it's
sure
a slower
that
process on Apple.
it's something just and they want to start on one platform. So if there's any errors, they can learn from another platform. And just like you said, maybe it's easier to fix those errors, easier to get past through cert. So, but that's it.
That's very cool.
Very cool.
Okay. All right. Steve-O. Steve-O.
Oh man, it's been a good week. So 3 months ago, there was 3 months ago was our last rocket launch, and it was a pretty cool rocket. It's called the Delta IV Medium, and I was able to set remotes for those, and neither of my cameras captured what I wanted. One of them, the battery died, and I don't know why. It was really hot out, or I think I've just chalked it up to it was really fucking hot. And the other one, I fucked up and didn't set my camera settings to what I knew what they needed to be, but I didn't, I was moving so fast and I just kind of screwed up. But we just had a launch, I mentioned it last week, of the Starlink satellites. This is the first operational batch. They'd already had their test batch back in May, and they did.
Oh, I thought
testing
that
those
was
out.
operational too.
Well, they worked, they did work, and actually Elon sent a tweet through the Starlink system, and that was kind of neat. He said, it just was like, I'm sending this tweet through the Starlink system or something like that, and then he replied to his own tweet. He said, "Whoa, it worked." Okay, so yeah, we just had this Falcon 9 launched. Okay, and I actually took a video of me setting them, setting my cameras. So you can see the launch pad there, and the rocket was horizontal still. They hadn't raised it vertical yet. But I thought this was kind of a neat look at what it's like for remote setup. All these photographers around just setting up their cameras, and I went for this spot here, just some spot.
Right up in the sky.
Yeah.
Well,
right
this
up
is
on that tower
my
there.
Right
my
there.
phone is. I was. Yeah, I didn't angle my camera or my phone very well when I was doing this. Look, the thing is you don't have much time when you're doing this. You've got we had 30 minutes, and that seems like a lot of time, but it's not. When you, I should probably mute this. That's the famous John Krause walking through.
Oh, the
famous John Krause.
When he sets up, why don't you just like
set up next to him?
Just
Push
like
his
right in
camera
front,
over.
right in front of him. Just like right in front of him. Like,
What a
oh, this
shame.
is a good spot.
He's actually a
Mr. John
super
Krause.
helpful dude. Like I've had to ask him for advice so many times, and he's been nothing but helpful. Yeah, I didn't angle my phone very well, but I wanted to capture this. So yeah, this is me, and here in just a second, I'll this is me hammering down my tent.
Look at them
my tent
khakis.
stakes.
You look like an undercover, some type of undercover agent or some shit, man.
Just say narc.
Yeah, I made these boxes out of like Tupperware boxes. I cut some holes in them for the lens to stick through. I did this like the night before remote setup, and then here you can see them. Let's get a little bit better view of them.
Wow, that's pretty clever.
Nice.
It's not original by any means. You know, I just kind of looked to see what other photographers have done. One thing that I could do would be to cover them in like aluminum foil or something to be reflective. So because that transparent material is just allowing the heat in, and then it gets trapped in there, and that's not really good for your camera. Although it is good for your lens to keep your lens warm, so it keeps the moisture off.
No hand warmers.
I use hand warmers.
You don't need them anymore.
Oh,
Not
use
in the
them.
plastic
Fucking,
box.
I use them, man. I ain't never gonna not use them. So that was set up, and then and then the launch happened, and then the next day we get to go back to, or not the next day. It was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours later. We get to go back out to the pad, pick up our cameras, and I felt pretty confident that they fired, because as soon as I got up to them, I just start tapping on the boxes, and both cameras woke up and took a couple shots. So I was like, okay, well, if they worked then I'm sure they worked during the launch. So I look at them on my phone, and I'm pleased with what I see, but I didn't want to put anything out until I got home and could look at them on my computer screen, because you just get a much better look at them. And I found the most surprising image on there. I was not expecting this, and you guys probably already seen it.
Yeah, we
I
already
haven't
follow
seen
you,
it.
buddy.
I haven't seen
Yeah,
it.
Nathan
Oh,
doesn't.
just hold on
he's
to your
not
ding
about it.
dong, sir.
I am already.
Look at that.
Woo.
Oh,
That
that?
is a dove in the middle of the flame.
Holy Spirit, right there.
That's the Holy Ghost.
It
You've been
is.
anointed.
Yes.
You've been.
So yeah, I was just kind of flipping through my images, and I see this, and at first glance I'm like, oh, that's some kind of debris, and then no, that is
That is God.
that is a motherfucking dove.
Yeah.
It's a deaf dove.
It's gotta
Steve-O,
be.
did you get chills? Did you feel something? Did you feel a tingle?
You got an erection. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
I mean, what would you do? No, I immediately stopped what I was doing. I went ahead and edited this one really fast and put it out, and was not prepared for the response that I got.
Oh, of course. Yeah, people are just
Hear
be like,
these responses.
Holy shit. Yeah, man. Like, it was like, it's over 150,000 impressions on Twitter. And then I used this because I got approved for posting on the SpaceX subreddit again. And got a great response on there. Of course, I kind of made a mistake and I invited people to identify the bird for me. Well, most people told me the name of the bird, like its name. That's George.
Jimmy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Most of the responses were, "Oh, that's George." One of them even said, "Oh, that's Steve. He's an asshole." And, and he got downvoted because that's, my name on Reddit gives away my name. But yeah, man, like super, super proud of this. And then today there was a guy on Twitter who was expressing genuine interest in having this photo printed very large for to go from floor to ceiling in his man cave.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've been talking with him to try to figure out how to get that done because, you want to be careful because this image isn't big enough for that. I mean, the resolution on my camera is not that big, and most cameras aren't. They're not big enough to go 6 feet tall, right? So I've been talking to actually John Kraus, who I mentioned before, and he gave me some tips on how to do it and how to maximize the quality. And assuring me that, well, if you get right up close to it, of course you're going to see some loss in detail, but you're not going to view an image like this that close. You're stupid if you do.
So, Steve, I have a couple things here. First, I'm really seeing that when you had it zoomed in closer to the bird, I'm seeing that's going to show up in like Christian bookstores with some like Bible verse on it.
And I'm not going to get any credit or money or anything.
Somebody's going to steal that.
He's just going to sue the shit out of him.
Somebody's going to steal that, and they're going to put the Day of Pentecost thing on there,
I
which is going to be
showing
awesome.
Yeah.
On some conspiracy site that says this launch never really happened because that dove wouldn't exist. It's all Photoshop.
Yeah, this is fake. Yeah, and one person did comment Photoshop with a question mark. Now, also somebody else on Reddit went ahead and did the math for me. Someone asked how far away the dove was, or how far away I was, and I said, well, really, I don't know. I'm guessing maybe 200 yards. And John Kraus again chimed in, and he was like, you were about 850 feet, because he knows these pads very well. And I just have to take him at his word. I'm give or take 50 feet. Who knows? But then someone took and did that math, and then figured out how many pixels wide the dove is, how many pixels wide the flame is, and we know the width of the flame because it's the width of Falcon 9, and it's I'm forgetting right now, but it's like 5 meters or 3.5 meters or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, the bird is closer to the camera than it is to the rocket. It's about 200 yards. I was about almost 300 yards from the rocket, and the bird is like 200 yards from the rocket.
Yeah, and that was my second thing. Is it's such a majestic picture, a very inspiring picture. But have we considered that bird might have just died from that blast?
It made it.
Let's see. I will show you. I'll show you John's video of it. And
John Kraus looks like Patrick's little brother.
And you just see that bird just fall to the ground with its head. Its head is exploded from how loud.
Here, check it out. The video's kind of.
Wait, this is the same launch?
There you go. Yep. Okay, you just saw him fly through right here.
Why it look like it was at night? Why am I so confused right now?
Because mine is it's underexposed so that you can make out detail in the flame, so it makes the background look. Okay, here we go. Ah, shit.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, watch. Right about now, you'll there they go. There's one.
Yeah, there was two.
Yeah, there was two. Why is it having such a hard time here?
It's that Florida internet.
Oh yeah, all this streaming, all this other shit going on.
Media could not be played. There we go. Oh, there they go, and they fly right through.
Yeah, see them.
Looks like they fly right into the cloud back there too.
Yeah.
Well, also, I mean, if you zoom in close enough, you can look at the pixels and see if something's been photoshopped.
Yeah, it's definitely not photoshopped at all. But yeah, pretty. I mean, that was just cool, really cool. And then, awesome. This is the shot that was the keeper from that camera, and this is something that I've been trying for, or not trying for because I've not had enough opportunities, but this is a shot that I've wanted for a long time. You get great
Full logo.
detail in the flame there, and then this is my wide shot. You can see the other
Nice.
camera setup right there. Yeah, I kind of wish I'd picked a little bit different spot to shoot from, but again, it's all about speed, and I'm still learning, and I'm still trying to get comfortable with setting up quickly. So I spend less time on finding my spot so that I can kind of try to focus on composition, but mostly just get it all set up, and get it where I know that I'll come up with something that's usable. And actually on this one, if you look down here, I saw this ramp type thing, and I didn't take the time to figure out what direction I was looking. I was thinking that was the flame trench over there, and really the flame trench was right here. And so I actually this is the very left edge of the image where I had to crop out a bunch over here. And so I wish that I had my camera pointed this way so I got more of this plume here. But, that's just, you live and learn. And actually, the bird is featured here as well.
Featured bird.
Now that these satellites are up, I wanted to show you guys this video here. This Twitter account is Kerbal Space Academy. The guy's name is Dawes, and he got a great video, and I want you to hear him because he's very enthused about this, and it's awesome. But yeah, here you go. This is a video of the Starlink train passing through, and at this point he hasn't noticed it yet.
Oh my gosh!
There, now he got
Chat! Whoa! Look at him! Oh my gosh! You have to be kidding me!
It's a train!
Wow!
Double rainbow. What does it mean?
He's
Tell me
crying
you can
about
see
The Last
that.
Jedi.
I better hit record if you can't. You've got to be kidding me! Where's the? I can't even find the report. What am I?
It does look like a space invasion.
Wow! Look at him go!
Yeah, I did not have sound on when you showed me this the other night.
Me neither.
Oh man, I missed out.
Whoa! Whoa! Look at him! Oh my gosh! Wow!
I love it, man. I love how enthused, man. And that's how you feel when you see him with your eyes. It's like,
Evo's
what?
getting misty-eyed right now. I can see it.
I can't even find the report button on my camera. Wow! Look at him go!
Oh.
Way!
Yeah, Steve-O,
love
can we
it.
see this right now? Is there a chance for us to see this?
Okay, so there is
Just play that guy on repeat.
there's another pass tomorrow. I know the time for us is hell. I can probably search for it right now. There's this account. If you're watching, you're already seeing it, but it's called Flight Club, which is an incredible name. What it is it's a website that this guy built, Declan, who it helps photographers figure out when certain things are happening either in the sky. It kind of started out as like helping photographers figure out the trajectory of a rocket after a launch so they know where to point, especially for those streak shots, so that you can frame up your shot against the background of the stars, and you can be assured that the entire streak is going to be in frame. But he's upgraded his website so that he can help you figure out where to spot Starlink satellites and other satellites too. So let me see if he has a prediction. I don't.
I want to like I want to be out in the desert with Mad Mike and then be like, look, Mad Mike, here comes the fucking satellites.
Yeah, here they
And you
come.
watch them go across the sky.
And see what he says. Yeah, see how it makes him feel.
Those are holograms. Oh, they're holograms.
Trevor
Okay.
Malman's another one that's been helping people figure it out too. And actually, I guess he helped out with an article on Ars Technica where they have kind of a how-to on how to predict these and what to do. and it's using the Flight Club website, so it's actually pretty easy. If you go to flightclub.io, it's not flightclub.com, it's flightclub.io, and then you hit the little, it's called a hamburger tab. It's the three lines, and there's like, I think it's the top option.
I mean, does SpaceX isn't tracking this? You would think they would be.
They are, but
putting
they're
it
not
out there.
necessarily like helping people figure out.
Well, you'd think they would. I mean, if they're tracking it, they would want it. They would want to try to get hype for people to see it, because I think it's kind of a cool thing to see, right? You think they would be? They would kind of be on that, doing it themselves.
Oh man, how did let's see.
Didn't we see the? Didn't you show us the space station one time?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were out here one night.
Yeah, I feel like I know I've seen
early
it
in the morning
a couple times.
Okay, here, yeah. Well, it's right here on his Twitter account. It's just a few tweets down, and it's beta, so you might need to actually go and see the website. But yeah, you got planned satellite passes, and then he's got a list, and the first thing that comes up is the Starlink trail. So you say how many days you want it to look into the future and how long you want that duration to be in order for it to show it to you, and then you hit find pass, and then you have to tell it to use your location, and then you select one, and there's one tomorrow for here. Set that, and it'll probably be good for you guys too. Oh, this is gonna be low on the horizon, but at 5:59 to 6:07. But it'll be about the same for you guys too, I would say. But man, as days go by, like you could already see in that video that they've already started to spread out quite a bit, and it's a lot more difficult to see once they're all the way spread out. They need to be kind of close together in the sky for you to even notice them, really.
Right.
So yeah, look to the west tomorrow night. What time did I say? Was it? Yeah, 5:59 to 6:07, which is the same time as it was tonight, which we were overcast, and then last night the clouds moved in like right before it was supposed to happen. Yeah, just look to the west about that time, because it doesn't take long to cross the sky. So it's going to be a little bit earlier for you guys because you're a little further north, but because it'll be going from the northwest to the southeast. But yeah, see if you can, and you're going to need to be somewhere where you can see pretty much the horizon. I mean, they're high up there, but
yeah, we're out in the hills. I'll be driving around. I'll probably be craning my neck and run off the road or something.
Yeah, well, I'll show you the line here so you can kind of get an idea. And this is supposed to be visible to us. So if it's visible to us here on the east coast of Florida, then you're like right here, and I would think that you'd be able to see it too. And it'll be shortly after sunset. What time is sunset for you guys?
5:30.
Is it 5:30? Okay, well that's the same as us then. So yeah, try it. I mean, it's just such a neat thing to see. I only saw it one time for the last launch. I'm just dying to see it again. It's just it does look ominous, and I can totally see how if someone didn't know what it was, they would think it's something dangerous.
Aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Steve, totally. Somebody made a parody of your picture. Would you like to see it?
I would love to see it.
Somebody as in Brad.
No, yeah, it was me. Like I'm doing this. There you go.
Oh,
what?
They just made it into Falcon Heavy.
Yeah, they just made a Falcon Heavy version of it. Your watermark's
still intact.
That represents the Trinity.
Oh
yeah.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Where is that? Is that on Reddit?
SpaceX Master Race.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I figured it. Yeah, one of those, either SpaceX Lounge or SpaceX Master Race.
That sub is hilarious.
Yeah.
I just found it.
There needs to be more birds.
Yeah.
If they're gonna,
do
that.
Yeah.
There's just be birds everywhere.
Birds and spaceships.
I'm gonna meme it. I'm gonna do that. I could do that video with like 20,000 birds.
Do it.
And like,
oh, that's cool.
15 flames. 15 flames.
That's awesome. They fit together really well too.
Yeah.
Bravo. Well, I'll go find that and comment that I approve.
Here, I'll link you. Right in the chat.
Exhaust heavy.
Hey, Patrick.
Yeah.
You had a couple of little things you wanted to
Yeah, I'll do the first one. So, does anybody have Disney Plus yet?
Yep.
Fuck no.
No, I've heard it's
Somebody
great
at work
or
does.
whatever.
They said the Mandalorian was pretty fucking good.
I did hear that
Oh.
was
Baby
good.
Yoda in it.
So, on their older shows, they did like the movies, like Dumbo, Jungle Book, and Aristocrats. They decided to keep it in its entirety and not edit it. But there's a disclaimer in the details of it that mentions that pretty much in the past it was racist, so it may not be suitable for everybody now.
Jungle Book is?
Yeah, I was puzzled by that. I was like, what was racist in Jungle Book? But
Well, Rudyard Kipling wrote the Jungle Book, and everybody knows he was a racist.
Yeah.
So
What was the one with the crows that all talked like black people? Is that
Dumbo.
Dumbo, that's what it was.
Yeah, and then Siamese Cat Song and Aristocats.
Yeah. Wait.
So
the Siamese. Wait. The
That's
we
in
are.
Lady and
Yeah, Lady and the Tramp.
Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
apologize. Yeah. Yeah. So they did that, but George Lucas decided to, or they re-edited Episode 4 of Star Wars for Disney Plus again.
What?
What?
again,
Yes, again for
Added
the
more Jar
Han
Jar
and Greedo
Binks.
scene.
For,
They
sorry,
added
for
that
what?
Han and Greedo.
Oh.
So
They-
Greedo shoots
one more time.
first.
No, he doesn't shoot first again.
Oh.
He says something else, but they removed some of the subtitles from it, so they edited that part again for some reason.
I mean,
and then they
look,
shoot at the same time.
Han is not a hero. It's
He is
okay
not.
if he shoots first.
Yes, exactly.
He's a smuggler.
Yeah.
He's a nerf herder. What is it?
Yes.
Scruffy looking nerf herder.
He can only say that, Steve-O.
That's a racial slur
Yeah.
in 2029, Steve-O. They'll have us taken off the air.
God, Scott will never get to that episode.
I know.
Yeah.
It's going to take forever.
I just like that scene in. When is it when he's frozen in carbonite? Is that the end of
Episode
Empire?
5, yeah.
Yeah, it's the end of Empire, and Leia tells him, "I love you," and he's like, "I know."
Yeah, he actually wrote that into the script because he's like, that's not Han. He was arguing with George Lucas about that. He said
Yeah.
that's not how Han Solo would be. So he just winged it.
I'm just saying, like for
Into that.
Disney, you don't think they might just redub it and have him saying "I love you" and her saying "I know"? Like, she's like, Leia's like, I'm sorry, not Princess Leia, General Leia.
General
It's like,
Leia.
That's right.
I know.
That's right. And then my second story, Steve-O, do you have it by chance? It'll say Australian or bag of weed removed.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Let me mute this. Oh, I gotta mute. Okay.
Should
I
I,
don't
play
think
this
they have
video or
No, I don't think they have a video of it.
is
I'm
that
not
not what
sure
this
about
is?
it.
Petersburg, that's
I have no idea. Play it, I
Australia.
guess. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, it says the volume is on, but it's
All right.
Oh, I have this site muted. That's what.
Yeah.
Oh, get out of here.
Just play it.
Lordy.
Unmute
hello
it.
there.
I
How
gotta
are you?
unmute this site. Hold on.
Unmute it. Right click the
Early
tab.
Sunday morning, investigators are still trying to figure out exactly what happened. Police say the shot was fired while she and another woman were
That's
driving
not.
near Central
That has
Ave
nothing
and
to do with this.
No, that's what I thought.
And I need
Okay.
to mute that site again. I probably did that for a reason.
Yeah, because it was loud last time. So, anyways, this dude had a bag of weed in his nose for 18 years. He's from Australia.
In his
How?
nose.
Your sinus cavity's big, man.
I will explain this to you.
Okay, explain it to me.
He was in jail in Australia, and his girlfriend snuck in weed to him. In order to get it past the guards, he shoved it up his nose and like could not get it out. Then later, he had chronic sinus infections.
Yeah,
like years.
Chronic.
Imagine.
Oh, yeah.
It And it turned into a rhinolith, which are stones formed around foreign objects in people's nasal cavities.
Oh, wow, that's smart. Way to go,
So
Body.
then they removed it. So I wonder if he was able to smoke it after the fact.
Yeah, did they let
Like,
him?
do I get that back or what?
Yeah, if
He
it
got
tasted better.
He got stoned from having weed.
Yes.
Do we have picture? I mean, I bet it was extra sticky. But
Here,
I
I'll
mean,
find a picture. I had a picture. Right.
I mean, that
Pictures
guy's
of it.
scrotum from last week or a week ago went that way for 17 years. I guess you could have a bag of weed up your nose for 18.
I just don't know how you would. How would you do it?
I
How
mean,
could
I
you
don't
get
think
any-
it was that big of a bag.
Here's
It's
I
probably
get-
enough
here's a
for
picture of
couple
him.
joints.
I got a CT scan of him.
The 90s. That's him
That's
right
not
there.
him, that's not
Yeah. Okay.
That's
Yeah.
not him.
He looks like he could fit some up that nose.
Firm
found
gray
something?
mass. Yeah.
Oh.
Firm
Yeah.
gray mass.
Can you imagine his wife is so relieved now that it's out of his nose because he had a hell of a whistle when he would go
So-
to bed at night?
Yeah.
That's like a one nug. He's got a nug in his schnoz.
Yeah, it's not very
Schnoz nug.
much. I mean, yeah, he still couldn't fit much up there.
Wow. All these little passageways and
You
shit.
need to tell him the traditional way is the butthole, right? I mean, he could have.
Well,
gone.
they always look there.
Yeah, that's
that
the
is
first
true.
place
They
they
always
look.
look
But do they look deep? I mean, how deep do they go?
Well, they make you
How deep
squat
do you
and
want
cough.
him to?
Squat and cough. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just got to get it up there far enough so that
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, what if he's an accomplished sounder? You know,
Mm.
Yeah.
sound your
Got a
weed.
lot of spare time on his hands in prison. A lot of
Spare time,
pencils.
spare space.
Spare pencils.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess
Would
he's
end first.
so he survived. He
Oh,
survived.
I mean, yeah, he's alive. He just
Now-
went in for surgery and they removed it.
So this is after he got out of prison.
Yeah, he's been out for
Oh,
a while.
okay.
He was just in there for something.
So he
I
got
forgot.
away with it.
Yeah.
Good for him.
They probably just gave him time served for having
Yeah.
the shit
For
in his
having
nose
contraband
for 18
and
years.
weed. Yeah.
Man, I wish is weed legal there? Like, is there any chance they let him keep it?
I don't think
I don't
so.
think they. If it is, I don't think they really do anything to you because they don't care.
Yeah, but would they let him
So-
keep it? I just want to know if he smoked it.
The same thing. I don't. Probably not.
Probably not. 18
Yeah.
years. I mean,
Would you even want to?
I
Yeah.
mean, it's your body's a natural humidor, so it probably kept it and aged it well.
But his natural
Cured
humidor. Is that what they teach you? And would you learn that in sounding class? Like, body's a natural humidor. Had a class at the Y on sounding.
Yeah.
That's why
Body's
it's
a natural
great.
humidor.
It's great for worms because they don't like it.
Yeah, it's just too warm. Too
Yeah.
warm, too humid.
September 25th, 2019, Australia's capital on Wednesday became the first jurisdiction in the country to legalize the recreational possession and cultivation of marijuana. So, in the capital territory, you're good, dude. You're good.
capital territory. Well,
Capital
who knows where he
territory.
was? I mean, I'm sure it's in the article, but who wants to look at that?
Yeah.
No, nobody wants to look at that.
Nobody wants to know that kind
He'll
of
just move
information.
to Sydney and be all right.
So Sydney, it's legal, huh?
50 grams, 2 plants, 4 per household.
50 grams, you say?
Residents over 18 possess up to 50 grams of dried marijuana and grow 2 plants per person or 4 per household at a time.
No,
Fine.
4
the
per
drug up.
household.
That's
You
a
got
lot.
one for mom, 1 for dad, 2 for the kids.
Supplying
Yeah.
the drug to other people remains illegal.
Oh, okay.
So you can have it and smoke it, but you can't sell it because it's not taxed.
So they don't have stores for it. You have to grow it yourself.
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah,
fine
well,
with that.
I'd be
yeah,
cool.
if
with
you
that
got enough
too.
land, you just buy a lot. You just put a lot of houses on the land, and There you go.
A lot of
It's
little
like-
tiny houses.
Yeah.
It's like one of those
Yeah.
stupid things. Like in Japan, gambling it's mostly illegal, but they get around it. Like they have pachinko parlors. Like pachinko is this game where they have all these balls
Mhm.
that come down the. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but
It's super.
Yeah.
cool.
all these metal balls come down and they kind of try to guide them into certain.
You get your
things.
tickets, you walk around the corner,
Right,
cash
you have
that
to.
in.
You just go outside and then you go around the corner and then you can exchange whatever you won for the money or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, I can't sell it, but you give it to me now, and then I'll go around the corner and I'll drop this
Sell it.
money into this box here, and yeah, or whatever. It's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Prostitution's legal there too.
Yeah,
And so cool.
Yep.
Australia and Japan.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't know Australia had that.
They got those
Yeah,
pachinko prostitution bars.
The greatest. We should go there next year.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
should.
okay.
Japan or Australia? Which one?
Japan, the Olympics,
Well,
bro.
we could do both. We could do both. I mean, they're close.
Yeah.
Close to
Yeah,
each
they're
other.
real close. We'll swim
Okay.
across.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's go to Thailand on the way.
Oh, damn.
Me and
Weirdo.
Todd used to talk about going to Thailand all the time. Like way back years ago. We had this like
We're going, man. We're going.
We're going to Bangkok.
Totally.
Like, oh yeah, we're gonna go. We're gonna
Go to that island that's in the movie The Beach.
Oh yeah.
that one.
Yeah,
That's the one you
that-
want.
The one
Is that
that
the one Barbara Streisand's in?
no, it's Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh.
You
Actually, a
remember
really
the
good movie,
dates with Barbara
but-
Streisand?
That spot became a huge tourist trap, and they ended up having to shut it down because there were too many tourists, and they fucked up the island and that little lagoon. I don't know how many of y'all have seen it, but it's a beautiful lagoon surrounded by these mountains, and there's this very small opening to the ocean, and this is really cool.
Is it beautiful now since the tourists
Well,
fucked it
No,
up?
it's full of shit.
No, I
Filled with
think
trash and
I think it
sewage.
might be. It might have recovered since because they've shut down the tourism there.
Yeah.
It's like a state park or well, not state, I don't
Mm.
national park or something. It's protected now. But if you haven't seen that movie, oh man, it's a good one.
It's
Yeah,
a
it's
weird one.
pretty
It's a
good.
weird one,
It's all right.
but it's a good one. It's one of those that I think like Leonardo DiCaprio is pretty popular, but I don't think that's one that's on
See,
many people's
one
radar.
where he's in a dream within a dream, but turns out he's in a psych ward.
No, that's
Oh.
Shutter Island.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah,
ever
this
see-
one,
mixed
Yeah.
together.
I was
Thank
gonna say,
you.
is the
Thank
other
you,
one
Becca.
when he's
Yeah.
in a dream in a dream.
Yeah.
He's real good in What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. That was his breakout role.
He's the sexiest retard you've ever seen.
Make
I
that
like
the
them in-
title.
Is that the title? Sexiest retard you've ever seen?
No, I like
I don't
the whatever
If
jihad
you're allowed
one.
to say that word anymore.
What? The
What was the jihad one that we were all laughing about earlier?
Jihad jockstrap or something?
Jockstrap Jihad.
Yeah,
that's
jockstrap
what-
jihad.
Should that be the title? I feel like that wouldn't be on the title. I don't think
Oh,
that'd get
man.
posted on Apple for some reason.
What does jihad mean?
So retard will,
Holy
but
war.
jihad won't.
They
I don't
rhyme.
know.
What
What is
about retard jihad?
That's perfect.
Yeah, let's get removed from all podcast platforms.
Wordsmith you.
Hey, they don't know the context in which the word jihad was used.
Yeah.
They don't
That's
have to
jockstrap.
I don't
because
know,
somebody
but-
will be
Yeah,
offended.
All
They'll
these
just
other
turn off the
platforms,
switch.
yeah, they just don't care if they
I
see
know.
those
They'll
words.
ask
They'll just cut it
questions
off.
later.
Yeah,
What are
Let's
you
just
talking
have-
about? This is a free country.
Just name it I'm gonna blowjob you.
I mean that would probably actually be fine.
That would be the
Yeah.
best one out of
Yeah.
them all. That's
I'm
the one
gonna
we settled.
blowjob you. Okay.
Oh.
So
funny.
jihad means a struggle or fight against the enemies of Islam.
Yeah.
So is saying jihad in our episode title? Is that bad?
It just
we don't
it
want to be
triggers
on any
people.
list.
It would
Yeah.
trigger, and I'm pretty sure they would have an algorithm for that to look into it,
You should just
and they
make
may
the
automatically shut it down.
Listen, guys, if I don't at least one time get threatened with death by an Islamic extremist, then I'm doing something wrong in my
Yeah.
life.
well, you could just make the title censored title.
censored title.
They'll know what it means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they listen to the episode, they'll be like, "Oh, that's what the title was going to be."
And Scott will figure it out in a year.
Just put cancel culture is gonna love this one.
Canceled culture is gonna love this one.
Cancel culture.
Cancel culture.
Yeah, where it's where people say something like Roseanne, how she said whatever she said, and people were like, "Oh, I'm offended. Let's get rid of Roseanne."
That's where it started. That is where it started.
I don't know if that's where it started.
That's the earliest memory I have of something like that.
I like that title.
Paula Dean said the N-word. That was before that.
Michael Richards, he did that too, didn't he?
Yeah, but the Roseanne thing was back in the 90s. Like,
what? No.
No,
that was like a couple of years ago.
That was a reboot.
Oh, I'm thinking of something else. Where she like sang the national anthem, but
yeah, that's the first time she made an ass out of herself.
What was it? What was it she did?
She sung the national anthem poorly at the
NBA or something.
Baseball. What?
Yeah, baseball game.
Yeah,
National
and she didn't, because she had a reality show all the time, and she was really trying to practice for that, and then her nerves got the best of her, and she just rolled with it, but it did not go over well.
I'm waiting for the Mariah Carey New Year's Eve special. That's what I want to see again.
I think we've already seen. I think we've seen all of Mariah Carey that we will at New Year's Eve, man. That one where her dancers had to carry her around.
Yeah,
Becca,
she don't care. She makes like $600,000 every year from the royalties from All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Becca, do you still have our predictions? Did we do predictions for this year?
We did. Yeah, we did them last year.
Somewhere.
Okay.
Somewhere.
I have plenty of time to find them.
She never throws
Over
the
the
notebook
rainbow.
away. She's got it somewhere.
Except for the last one.
Because it's coming up soon.
Yeah, I have every single piece of paper that I've ever written.
Except for the
anything.
last one, though. Except for remember last year how we didn't have
last
the
year
previous-
she couldn't find them.
Right,
yeah.
but now from that point on, I can say with confidence that I have every single piece of paper that I've written any verbal assault related stuff on.
You know something I said with confidence last year for our predictions that I will be wrong on? About we would fly astronauts this year. Ain't gonna happen.
Years on over, man. Maybe Virgin's gonna say, "Fuck it, let's do it now."
Well, I mean,
for Murdoch's like, I'm gonna be first, bitches.
I'll go ahead and I'll let the integrity kick in, and that was not what I was talking about. Because it's still debatable on if you're actually an astronaut if you fly with Virgin Galactic, because I think they don't go up quite high enough or something. They go up to a certain line that's considered space, but not like the Kármán line or something.
Not as high as Mad Mike's.
Mad Mike, he's gonna clear that Kármán line.
He's going all the way.
I think should be. Well, no, is he doing that with the helium balloons to the Kármán line?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he goes up on a rocket, and then the helium takes him up higher. Well, and then once the helium has taken him as high as it can, because once the atmosphere gets thin enough, helium is not going to lift you up any higher, so then you have to rocket up higher.
Yeah.
Because that was his whole thing, was that Felix Baumgartner with Red Bull, he didn't go up, because he just went up with a balloon.
Yeah, fucking poser. Fuck that guy.
I did like how he defended him, though, because I was like, yeah, he kind of like pussed out and stuff. He's like, well, I mean, you got to understand this kind of thing.
High.
This is a man sometimes second guesses his own abilities, and that's okay.
All right,
exactly
Becca.
What he said, but
yeah, it was. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, Becca. Let's hear some poetry.
Okay. This is a sexy poem.
Oh.
All right.
Well, I'll let you be the judge.
Brad, you might want to take off your headphones for this.
Yeah, you don't want to be threatened. You don't want your nut threatened.
Here, I'll stick my dick in this bag I found on my table.
There you go.
I'll whip it at the camera.
Okay. It's called Nocturnal Emissions.
The smile on her face when she said that. She was so happy about it.
I gotta calm down now. I'm laughing too much. This is poetry.
Wait, hold on. I have a
What?
question.
That wasn't the poem.
I have a question. Do ladies have these kind of dreams? Do they have? I know that you're not going to get a full on emission, but do women have
Storm surge in
dream?
their sheets when
Do
they
they have
wake up?
dream orgasms, typhoons? Do they have?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember,
really?
Like
like,
every night, dude.
Anna Nicole Smith said she was like raped by a ghost.
Oh my
Well,
god.
that
you go.
sounds interesting.
That sounds reliable.
Yeah.
They should press charges against that ghost.
So yes.
Yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah.
All
I
right.
mean, I guess I can't speak for all women, but I'm pretty sure it's the same for all of us across the board. I hope
Okay.
so.
All right,
Anyway.
All right. Move on.
Okay. Nocturnal emissions. The power is out again, but it's a full moon. What's the worst that could happen?
What?
Nocturnal emission.
Grow
Wait,
up.
Man.
Poetry.
Nocturnal emission.
Emission.
I have to start over every time this happens.
Hold on. I gotta get some candles lit.
I can't have a nocturnal emission without candles.
Yeah. I gotta
I'm
prepare.
gonna have to have a nice hot bath after
Yeah.
this.
I got to put the candles out with something.
It's
Alexa,
clean
play
up.
Barry White.
A typhoon, perhaps? Okay. Nocturnal emissions, round 3.
Nocturnal emission.
Don't laugh this time.
We're not
Okay, we
laughing.
won't laugh at all.
This is completely serious.
I'm turning off my laugh switch.
Okay. The power is out again, but it's a full moon. What's the worst that could happen? Age comes up, but it's just a number. We don't.
Nocturnal emission.
Post this on Facebook and Twitter. This poem.
Okay. I'm not starting. I
Start
have
over. You gotta
Start over.
Gotta start over.
All right. We gotta control ourselves.
Power through, like when you power through to do your laundry after such a
That's right.
evening.
I mean, you gotta get through the boss fight.
Yeah.
Okay. Nocturnal emissions, round 4.
Nocturnal emission.
We're not nutting.
Nocturnal.
Not yet.
No nutting allowed.
The power is out again, but it's a full moon. What's the worst that could happen? Age comes up, but it's just a number. We don't have a lot of time for inflating your value, so the standard remains operational. But it has been difficult. We have trouble with calling codes early, even when it's very clear. We should capture this comfortable heat before the hurricane.
It sounds like a dude's just trying to just fuck this girl. Oh, man.
That's your interpretation, Patrick, and that's
It
art.
is. It is.
That's the
All
beauty of art.
interpretations are equally valid. They're all valid.
They're all valid.
Well, Becca, that might be your best one yet.
Yeah.
I don't know
Might be.
if that's true.
Might be. It's usually just makes me think about death. This one was a lot
Erotic.
more exciting. Yeah, erotic.
And hilarious at the same time. Bust a nut while you bust a gut.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Becca, for a great poem. Thank you for a great podcast. Thank you to Haywood Banks for a theme song. God, I love that guy, Haywood.
Yeah.
Haywood.
Yeah, man.
If you don't like Haywood, you're not a friend of mine. That's what I say.
Yeah,
You
look him
don't like
up
Haywood, then you
on
ain't
your
no
Apple
friend of
Music
mine.
or your
He's on Apple
Spotify's. He's
Not
check-
all of his albums are on Apple Music,
I'd
but
say
is enough. Look up.
Disclaimer: we are not
Go to
sponsored
his
by Apple
YouTube.
Music or Spotify.
Yeah, just go to
See him live if he's in your town. He is awesome.
Tell him we sent you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tell him.
he'll totally remember us.
he will.
He would remember Becca. He would. I
Well,
think
she
he
showed him her titties. Of course she.
Well, he asked. Just kidding.
Follow us on Twitter at _verbal assault _ catch us live. Fuck it. Mixer.com/verbal assault
Fuck it,
podcast.
catch us live.
Give us the follow. Come shoot the shit with Jerry and Aphid something.
Dragon,
Dragon was in here tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, the people you'll see.
Yeah.
Motor Fox Racer was in here tonight.
Nice.
Hey,
Right.
we never get
Furry
any email.
Furry community loves us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, furry
The
and
Juggalos love us.
yeah,
Flat Earthers love
Juggalos.
us.
Flat Earthers love us. We are bridging the gap between science and the flat earthers.
Yes.
That's what we do.
That's how we
what
do
we
it.
do.
Yeah.
That's right.
And if you're an audio listener, however you get your podcast, leave us a 5-star review. And you can also support us on patreon.com/verbal assault.
Ching ching.
And then you can just call up old 865-316-6955 and tell us what the weirdest thing you've ever ejaculated to in a dream is.
Nocturnal emissions. Nocturnal emissions. Deuces.